Hey, how's it going and welcome to another video. So by the time you're watching this, Kiryu Coco has of course graduated from Hololive, and originally this video was just gonna be me kind of paying tribute to her, like talking about some memories I have of her, the impact that I think she had on VTubing and Hololive especially, but I thought it would be a lot of fun to kind of open this up to you guys, so I asked for your own submissions for memories that you had of Coco, experiences with her, and thank you so much to everybody who made a submission. It really kind of touched my heart seeing how much you guys appreciated and loved our kaichou. So check the description for timestamps if you're looking for your own entry. My own thoughts will be at the very end, and enjoy the video.
Yo, I just wanted to thank Coco for helping me get past some stressful situations with school. I would definitely watch her subreddit reviews, when I'm stressed out, and it would definitely help soothe the looming defeat of school. But anyways, it really sucks to see her go, because I genuinely enjoyed watching her videos. So yeah, see you sometime, Coco.
Coco's decision to leave Hololive is understandable, but sad nonetheless. Her streams were always just brimming with personality, that the way she acted was basically unheard of at the time of her stream, of her debut, I mean. And even now that we have other VTubers who are willing to push the limits, none of them will ever be able to replicate what Coco was. All I can say is that I hope Coco is happy after she leaves Hololive, and I really hope she continues to make content outside of Hololive.
I don't exactly remember when I subscribed to Kiryu Coco, but my favorite clip was when she met Kazuma Kiryu in Yakuza 7, and her mind was absolutely blown. Probably one of my favorite clips by far.
I've had to re-record this like 9 times because I keep messing up, but I'm just gonna go from the heart. So, I'd say Coco is probably the main reason why I got into Hololive, just by seeing her debut stream and wanting to, check out more of her and of Hololive in general, which has been such a fun experience overall. I've been able to talk to friends more about it. I've been able to bother friends about it. So that's totally a worthwhile experience. I've really been happy to see her grow past these past 2 years, and I'm really bummed out that she's leaving now. But if that's what she wants, then I'm totally okay with that. You just gotta respect her wishes, and it's a total bummer, but yeah, I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her meme reviews a lot, and it's gonna suck, but you just gotta hope for the best and stay positive for the dragon.
Phew, that whole Coco thing was like, damn, it's actually really hard to believe, especially like the day it happened. It was like late at night, I was about to go sleep, and then like, oh shit, Goku's gonna retire, and like, god damn. And it's really sad, because like Goku's one of the main reasons a lot of Westerners are into Hololive, me sort of included. I never really watched her streams like fully, because I'm not that type of person to watch streams on it, but I really did enjoy watching it, especially like just random clips from meme reviews. That was fun. And it's honestly sad, not just the fact that she's gonna leave, but also like how there's a lot of people just how when it was announced he was gonna graduate, a lot of people just started like spreading shit about how, oh, it was China. I don't know, even though I honestly find it kind of stupid, but that's not the point here. Honestly, just whatever Coke is gonna do from now on, so long as she is happy with it, I think I'm gonna be okay. So Godspeed Kaichou. How do I even finish this? Wait, shit, I just really don't know how to put into words this, because I'm not good speaking, even though I really just just I just hope she has a good future. That's really all I care about.
Oh man, it's hard to state or put into words how much Coco has influence, at least for me, because I'm pretty sure she was the reason why I got into this whole VTuber rabbit hole. And like, I don't know, I just really enjoyed how she is. I found her very unique, very energetic, very funny, and like, I really enjoyed a bunch of the Yakuza streams, and just particularly a lot of like those indie games that she plays as well. And of course the other collabs with other VTubers are always nice. It's been quite a bumpy ride, lots of ups and downs per se. And it's quite unfortunate that the downs were enough to put out a result like this, an outcome like this that is, I would not say super terrible, but it's just unfortunate. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad she made the decision to do this. I hope she's happy with it. There's lots of things that she, as a person, can do out in the world, and I'm looking forward to what she has in store, as I want to support her. I think she's a wonderful streamer and a wonderful VTuber. I hope that whatever we have in store for the future can reach her, and I hope that our little goodbyes and farewells will be heard from her. Would be nice, as a lot of people do support her, and she needs that support, especially for now.
Around mid-2020, I wasn't really feeling the best. It was a very stressful point in my life with a bunch of paranoia, and which, let's just say, it just wasn't good. Later in the year, I spiraled into a deeper depression, and really, I couldn't get enjoyment out of much of anything in my life. The only exception to that was, of course, YouTube, which took the pain away for about 10 minutes at a time. And, of course, as you probably expect, VTubers played a part in making me feel a little bit better. Coco, while she wasn't my most watched one, I can tell that she was definitely a very, very influential and kind person. When I said that, I immediately just got the image of her shooting someone in my head, but anyways, I don't really have that many experiences watching Coco streams, but you can't deny that she is very important to a lot of people, and very funny, and of course very influential, especially with all that shit that happened with her, if you remember that. I'm not really sure what else to say, other than I'm horny.
Okay, so I remember in the late fall, early winter of last year, I was still in my VTuber infancy, casually watching some clips, actually following, subscribing, seeing some of them. And I was on my TV, and I saw right there a clip of Coco from one of her first meme reviews. And I decided to check them out because, dragon right there, I thought, seems pretty cool. It might be fun. And that is how I first learned and saw our own kaichou herself. And I saw a lot of her streams, her other meme reviews, her collabs, her reactions, and some of them have become some of my personal favorites just because of the way she talks, very crass, but also you can tell that she's genuine. Some insanity stuff like her 3D debut where she gets shanked and whatnot. Like, those are amazing. Like, I love seeing those. Especially her learning Spanish, as it is very fun to see someone, who doesn't speak your language try to learn it and learn your language. I loved seeing that a lot. And during these months, as I kept seeing, I also learned a lot of stuff about her as Coco. First off, her less subtle one her love for Real Guy Gotoku or the Yakuza series, with her name, her design, and who she loved as her husband and whatnot. And those are some of my favorite clips just because I am also a fan of the series. Or how very supportive she has been of Hololive EN, trying to help them and whatnot. Since Hololive EN has some of my favorite members, so hearing that also made me respect her even more than I already respected her, her work schedule and whatnot. And also how much I keep hearing from the other Hololive members of how great of a friend she is. Like, it genuinely warms my bitter heart that there is someone right there who is trying to help others. And it really makes my day whenever I saw any of her streams, as I could always put it on my TV and just enjoy myself. So, Coco, I hope your graduation goes well. Don't worry, your clan will be strong till the end. So, I hope I'll get to see you until the end.
What can even be said about Kiryu Coco? Lots of things, and condensing that all into 3 minutes is going to be kind of difficult for me. But she's the one who got me into Hololive. She's the one who got me interested in this and fall deep down the hollow hole, and I don't even miss sunlight anymore because just the warmth that Coco displayed all the time is a much better replacement for sunlight because it doesn't burn. You only feel love from it. And that is part of her boundless optimism. No matter what she did, she would always have the biggest, dumbest smile on her face, and it was clear she was always having a great time. I think that's extremely evident when she performed King with Kanata and Towa, who are singing the song, and then every second of Coco's body language, she is just having the time of her life, and just pure, unadulterated glee the whole time. Like, the fact that she was not confident about her singing ability and learned to sing to do stuff like that is also an inspiration. Like, she just never one to settle and was always improving herself. She definitely changed the company from the inside by helping out all of her friends, like even when she helped out herself. When Watame debuted, her internet was terrible and she disconnected a bunch of times during her first stream, and Coco turned it into a big joke to the point that fans would get hype every time her internet cut out, because it's like, yeah, it's like, yes, go internet, go, you need to do terrible right now. When Kanata debuted her shirts, people really didn't like them because they were just kind of this kind of boring design, and Coco again turned it into a meme, and that made people absolutely love them. She definitely cared a lot about her coworkers. That's evident with the Hollow House, where she just set up a safe place for all of her coworkers to perform, to get away from the stress of anything they were going through, as a place to unwind and just be around friendly faces. Just was really good at bringing out the best in everyone around her. Her collab with Marine is my favorite thing Coco ever did, because Coco was just, again, being her wonderful, optimistic, energetic self, and then was able to give Marine a new catchphrase, introduce her to the Western world via a bunch of clips. Like, anybody who didn't care about Hololive Japan was probably very interested in Marine after hearing her say, "I'm horny!" and just seeing, like, okay, I need to know more about this random horny pirate girl. She was definitely the testing ground for Hololive English, and without her, we would not have the entire Gen 1 and upcoming Gen 2. And I think she just led the most fulfilling life of an idol that she could. She was helping others the whole time, constantly improving herself. And I think we should all live that way, just showing all that kindness to others, in turn, them returning it to us, and just doing our best and always smiling in the face of everything. So with that, Kaichou, Coco, I just want to say thank you. I did not mean for this to sound so much like a eulogy. It just ended up being that way.
While I haven't been as up to date with Coco as other Hololive fans, and I've mainly watched her streams through highlights, I can certainly say that she's had a huge impact both on bridging across the West to Japan and its culture and idol culture, as well as just giving the inspiration to everyone, a lot of aspiring Vtubers nowadays, to push on and to really give themselves out there to others and audiences. While I don't really have much to say and I'm not nearly as attached as others are to her, I can definitely say that the news of her graduating have hit hard. All I want to say is that I wish her the best even after she graduates, and I hope that she can be happy and that she can keep both the friends and the relationships that she's made along the way so far. Love you, Coco, and we all wish you the best.
Yo, what's up, everyone? In terms of like my experiences with Coco, she's basically like what got me into VTubers. Like, because when someone first described Hololive to me, like, they just described them as just virtual idols, and that really turned me off from it, because I was like, okay, it's just a bunch of Love Live bullshit. Like, I didn't really vibe with it just based on that description. But I think later, like, I saw on Twitter, like, someone linked a video, and it was like a meme with Coco's advertisement for the Hololive EN auditions, and I just my preconceptions were just completely blown away. It was unexpected, it was chaotic, like, so essentially, like, that one video, like, and basically just Coco's personality is what got me into Hololive, got me into VTubers, got me into this whole scene. So I'm so thankful for her, and I really hope that she does the best going forward, because without her, I mean, I wouldn't even be a fan of Hololive.
With Coco soon leaving Hololive within a month, I felt it was appropriate to talk about some moments that I found particularly great about Coco, and how she kind of helped me out through the pandemic. Coco actually means a whole lot to me, because she was the VTuber that got me into the whole VTuber rabbit hole, and it's kind of hard to imagine that she's suddenly leaving of her own choice, but even still, it's crazy. Just seeing this shit posting, swearing dragon who was into Yakuza was kind of a funny realization, and it was definitely a big contrast to the like Kizuna eyes I was used to at least hearing about. As for like a quick rundown of some of my favorite moments, during her debut, she mentioned about Minuki, which means, you know, to kind of get off on someone, and she was trying to figure out what it meant, and it was funny to have the whole chat kind of hear about this and have her openly talk about people getting off to her. Another one of my favorite moments were the random late night shitposts she'd make with Kanata with that dumb background music where they were on a green screen just kind of swaying around. And then the obvious one is the Kiryu Coco feat compilation, where she was just like, what the fuck is a feat compilation? And just name dropped X videos. But real quick, more on how she got me through the pandemic. So I had started my second year of university, and it was my first year of university where I was actually far away from home. I was like almost an entire state away from my family. And, you know, it was kind of hard being away from people that you normally associate with and hang out with for the first time in a while. And it was hard to make friends because a lot of stuff was just closed. I couldn't, like, go to a school club or something to meet people. And so, you know, I'm scrolling through YouTube like I normally do every day during the pandemic, and, you know, there was Coco making shit posts and, you know, being a general gremlin. And, you know, being the fucking internet stalking gremlin I am, I just kind of latched onto it and really enjoyed all the content she made, and I will really miss at least this iteration of the streamer. I do hope that Coco and whoever is behind Coco, you know, does at least return to streaming, but that'll be for the future. Thanks a bunch, Kaichou.
Coco, the Kiryu Coco, our kaichou. Man, Coco really is a unique and fun and just really entertaining VTuber. from the Asa Coco to the meme reviews to she even got Best Girl Yagu on a meme review, which was shocking. I was like, wow, I can't believe she actually got Yagu to do it. But Coco will definitely be missed for sure. She is one of the most entertaining and fun, unique too VTubers. And I think my favorite memory no, I know this is my favorite memory, ironically, is when she got my loving wife, Fubuki, to say, "Good morning, motherfuckers." And as painful and as heart-wrenching as it was to hear Fubuki say that, my wife Fubuki, I still think that's funny. I think it's hysterical. I watched that clip probably too much for my own good at times, but yeah, Coco, whatever she decides to do, whether it's going to VTubing or doing something else, I hope she finds happiness and success. And just want to say thank you so much, Coco, for all that you do. Everyone in the VTubing community is grateful for everything you've done. You've been such an influence in this community, and yeah, thank you so much for everything, and hope you find happiness in whatever you choose to do. So yeah, see you in the future, kaichou.
Coco for me is personally one of the best VTubers, and one of the VTubers that I'll probably miss the most. Like, just the energy, her streams, the wacky shit she came up with. Like, there will never be another Kiryu Coco. And like, Coco did some weird shit, alright? We're not gonna like dodge around the bush. Coco did some absolutely weird shit, right? Like, even though she's in like a company such as Hololive, such as Cover Corp, right? Coco did some shit that like some like indie VTubers wouldn't do. And there's this one stream, right? If I'm going to point to someone, right, who Kiryu Coco is as a person, or what Kiryu Coco's content is like, it's the hair removal stream. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know it, but that stream is absolutely amazing, because I remember the day when I saw that stream. I remember I was fucking bored. I was laying in bed, fucking bored, just going through VTuber clips, and then I saw Kiryu Coco hair removal, and then when I saw that shit, I was like, holy shit, like, this is what brought me into like VTubing. Like, beforehand I was like a casual, right? I would watch them not daily, or I would watch them like once in a while, right? But once I actually got to see that clip, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking special. And I guess that's what Kiryu Coco is. Kiryu Coco is something special. Like the Asa Coco, fucking other wacky shit she did, like, there's nobody who's gonna be able to pull that shit off. Nobody's gonna be able to take sleeping pills, right, and then still make it as entertaining as Coco. But yeah, thanks Fither. Thanks for like allowing me to like fucking speak about how much I'm actually going to miss Coco. Yeah, cool. Thanks, man.
I have an interesting relationship with Kiryu Coco. When I really think about it, Coco was my first exposure to VTubers. She was the one I was seeing everywhere and knew nothing about, eons before I actually decided to check out Hololive. I see this anime woman on my screen talking in a clip that was at one point live, where she's talking about shaving her pubic hair, and that was the most insane shit I had heard that week. I heard about a Chinese controversy and I got pissed because, fuck China, and it was just stuff like that that was perpetually popping into my life and keeping me intrigued very vaguely. I did actually get into VTubers, and I still watch them now. However, I want to be honest. My first Coco stream that I actually attended live was the one the other day with Callie and Ollie. I didn't really know at the time that what I was really attending was one of the last streams before Coco would announce that she was graduating. And that's what reminded me of the fact that Hololive at the end of the day is a business. And at any moment, any one of the Hololive idols that we like can be dropped or leave at a moment's notice, whether it's a falling out with the company or the contract expires. Whatever it is, it sucks. And to me, it really sucks because I definitely knew Coco before any of the other ones. Exposure to her was part of the intrigue that brought me in. And now, Coco is just going to be a piece of history that I didn't, but easily could have been a part of and lived through. I know I'm not the most affected by this, and this is probably going to come off as petty to the more hardcore Coco fans, but seeing Coco going really wakes me up a bit and accepting the finite time that we have with the ones that we're only kind of interested in, and that we could miss out on, or even worse, we end up having to say goodbye to a content creator that we love and are engaged in.
Good morning, motherfuckers! I'm Gregory from Indonesia. It hasn't been long since I fell into this endless rabbit hole, but one thing for sure, it has been a really great ride. The biggest reason is because of Coco. One of my very first exposure to Hololive is Coco's pre-debut stream, and thinking, who is this chat Vtuber? She's just so different. At first, I don't care much about Coco because of her potty mouth and vulgar contents. I never hated her, just kind of put off with the contents that she made. But after trying to watch her streams, knowing how much she worked for the streams, also the struggles that she has to endure because of the antis, seeing her crying on stream and such, and even with such a strong persona that she made for herself, behind all of that, she's just a very kind cinnamon roll, and that gap was the biggest reason why I fell for Coco hard. I fell for her really, really hard. I believe Coco has done her best in this small VTuber world. Whole life, hell, even VTubers will never be the same without Coco. And thank you very much for all the kusas that you gave us the past 2 years, Coco. You are indeed the greatest VTuber legend. Arigato, thanks gozaimasu. You will always be our kaichou. Woo!
I think that it would be very difficult to overstate the impact that Kiryu Coco has had on virtual YouTubing as a whole. I think that she is one of the biggest factors in VTubing becoming, popular in the West and, with English speakers. And she has revolutionized the genre as a whole in a lot of ways. She's sort of like Da Vinci, except instead of painting, it's calling people motherfucker and shaving her hair. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, I think that she's one of the biggest reasons behind Hololive EN, which was obviously such a big deal and is so successful right now. And it's hard to say if VTubing would have come to the West in such a big way if it weren't for Kiryu Coco and the fact that, she made all these efforts to reach out to the English speakers and all that stuff. And it was kind of just her and Hachima, really. And, So, yeah, I think that in general, Kiryu Coco has been one of the most influential virtual YouTubers. And also the sort of idea that VTubers need to be these pure 100% idols and stuff, and many of them are, and that's totally fine. But she was one of the shining examples of you don't have to be sort of putting on this super fake persona, and you don't need to be pretending to be what you are, and you could be as loud and crass as you want to be, and it can be very much endearing. Again, not that she was the only one who's ever done this, but she was definitely one of the more noteworthy ones, I would say. And I don't know if VTubing will be the same without her. I really don't. She was such an important figure, and I guess it remains to be seen. But she was one of the best, and well, we'll definitely miss her. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that. And yeah. Unrelated, any K-Son fans in the chat?
My first experience with Coco was back in, I think, already 1 year. Was when VTubers started popping off, and I think I wasn't too into VTubers at the time, only into the technical stuff. But one day I just found a clip of Coco talking with Sakura Miko that even until this day is one of the funniest clips in VTuber history in general. Then I just starting to search and find a lot of really, really interesting stuff that just started to make me fall in this rabbit hole. It's like one of my favorite moments, or just my favorite moment of Kiryu Coco must be when she just takes pills to relax, and then the stream goes off, it continues, and then just in a moment she's so fucked up that she basically sleeps in direct. It was so fun. I actually really liked that moment. Like, even though Kiryu Coco was never like my favorite in general, I have favorites in whole life and outside it. It's still one of the person who introduced me to VTubers, and also one of the funniest in general, and one who had so much impact in the community, because without her, I don't think that so much VTubers can do whatever they're doing. Like, not only whole life, but like Ninja Sanji and V Shoujo and independent VTubers. Like, she was like so much important to the community, and thanks to VTubers, I passed so much dark times. I just can't thank her how much she did. So yeah, and I just want to say goodbye, Coco. I hope whatever you do from now on, you do the so great, and just be yourself.
My first experience with Coco's channel was about 4 months ago in her Reddit shitpost review with Pekora. While I haven't seen much of her content outside of shitposts and collaborations, I still wanted to pay tribute to her, and I wish her the best in her future endeavours.
Hi Coco, if you're watching this, I just wanted to say how much I love everything you do, and how much you've influenced the VTuber industry, and my personal experience with VTubers. I got into them about last summer, and along with some of the others, your clips were what ultimately led me down this rabbit hole, especially the ones of you making certain jokes about certain yabe topics, and then also all of the clips where you're teaching English to Hololive members, most notably Miko and her Pata Pata butterfly. And then I've been watching Meme Review every week since it started, or at least since the first guest was on, which I think was Fubuki, and it's really sad to see you go, but here's to your future career, your future endeavors, whatever you do, and have fun and good luck out there. Thank you for everything you've done.
Oh boy, my turn. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody who made a submission. I think you really turned this from just another Fither video into something pretty special. But yeah, when it comes to me and Coco, it's hard to remember the exact first clip or first stream I saw of her. It's all kind of in this miasma of memories at this point, because I never really made an active note of oh, this is my first time seeing her or whatever. But I think the one thing that I'll always remember Coco for, and this is something that popped up in almost every one of the submissions, is just the way that she managed to, I think, kind of form this bridge between the Western VTuber fanbase and the East. I feel like for a lot of people, it's super common for their first experience with a VTuber to be yeah man, I saw this clip of this anime girl saying a bad word or whatever. That's what happened to me with Kizuna Ai. It was one of the many clips of her saying fuck that first kind of got me into it. But Coco being a Westerner, this is something that a lot of people are very surprised to hear, but Coco is not a native Japanese speaker. She's from the United States. But just the fact that she had such a Western kind of sense of humor and connection with the internet, and just this very unorthodox method of VTubing to where I feel like if you kind of look at Hololive before Coco, you start to really see just how much she kind of revolutionized and changed not just Hololive, but I think VTubing in general. Obviously, it's kind of hard to exactly trace the evolution of this stuff, because this is years and years of streams and stuff that you have to go through, but when you kind of look at these girls' introductions and their debuts and stuff, you can tell that Hololive, the kind of vision for it was a much more stereotypical idol sort of experience. Hololive way back in the day is kind of like how what people who I think aren't into VTubers kind of imagine VTubers to be, which is basically just like, oh yeah, they're all kind of nice and sweet and idol-like, so to speak, something that's very appealing to like anime, weeaboos, whatever. And obviously there were bits and pieces of more kind of like edgy sexual humor or whatever, but then along comes Coco like a fucking steam train, and it's just like, I'm going to teach all of these girls to curse. I'm going to talk about shaving my pussy. I'm gonna do meme reviews. I'm gonna do like morning basically shitpost shows. And I think it was something that was just so out there in terms of like the kind of vision of what Hololive was supposed to be. Like, you always see those memes and shit of like Coco ruining Yagu's dream of having just like this accumulation of sweet, nice idols. And like I said, I really do think that Coco sped up the kind of process of introducing VTubers to the West like 1,000-fold. I think there's a pretty big difference between like a clip of a VTuber kind of speaking English and a VTuber who's like, yeah guys, alright, here's how you translate the word pussy into Japanese. I'm going to teach you that. And I think Coco absolutely just helped to push the limit of like, these girls' kind of sense of humor and what is acceptable in VTubing. Take a look at VShojo. Like, you can imagine in another reality where Coco just never existed, like, something like VShojo may be never coming into existence. Because Coco proved that it could work, just the concept of, like, this really foul-mouthed Western sense of humor kind of VTuber, because that's, like, most of kind of what VShojo is just, like, yeah, VTubers, but they say fuck and talk about pussy. And Hololive English, of course, you have to wonder, like, obviously it would have happened in time, but you have to wonder without Coco's influence and just kind of being this, like, this bridge between the two, like, fan bases, if that sort of thing would have happened as soon as it did. And the reason why I ended up calling this video There Will Never Ever Be Another VTuber Like Kiryu Coco is less because of the fact that, like, it's impossible to be like Coco. There's, an infinite magnitude at this point of VTubers who curse and are Westerners and sort of give off this, like, Coco energy, but they'll never be the first. Like, history is only ever made once, and to quote Funny Valentine, I really do think that Coco, like, she took the first napkin. Coco is the one who said, you know what, I'm gonna teach these girls how to say curse words, I'm gonna do morning shit posts, I'm gonna do streams entirely in English, I'm gonna show up in your recommendations over and over and over again until you relent and watch one of the clips. And I think it's the kind of thing that you only really stop and really put two and two together, like, once she announced that she was graduating. And it's undeniable that just the face of VTubing and VTuber culture would not be the same without Coco's influence. Like, would VShojo and a lot of the Western VTubers really exist if Coco hadn't proven that, like, her more foul-mouthed kind of approach would work? Would Hololive English have existed, as soon as it did? Would there be nearly as many Western fans, like, tuning into Hololive streams? Would the girls' sense of humor and just the kind of stuff they're willing to talk about, would that even happen if not for Coco? And even though this is obviously kind of the end for Kiryu Coco, for anybody who's in the know, then you'll realize that it's not really goodbye, it's more of a see you later. It's kind of an open secret at this point. A channel completely unrelated to Coco may or may not exist out there somewhere, who knows? And even though I'll obviously miss Coco, the person behind the avatar, I think is going to do very, very well for herself. And I think you gotta give her a round of applause. I mean, Coco accomplished so much, just like, I think she was the #1 most super chatted girl in all of Hololive. Obviously, her having, like, both the West and Eastern fan bases helped a lot with that, but, she made the most money, she was routinely one of the most popular, she had an everlasting impact on the face of VTubing, she managed to piss off the entirety of China. But yeah, she really did finish, I think, at the very top of the VTubing game. Like, it will be a very long time before somebody shows up and kind of, like, revolutionizes the face of VTubing the way that she did. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and big thanks to everybody who made a submission. Anyway, subscribe to K-san, completely unrelated to anything I've been talking about today, and I'll see you guys next time.